Falcons holds down the road west of Impala and is able to get themselves a very important victory to try and push themselves up the leaderboard, up for a more prize pool here at PMWC. But at the same time as well, whilst you're watching these games go on, you can also check out the EWC app, which is obviously over on the app stores, and keep up with everything that's going on here for EWC as a whole. Not only this tournament, but the other tournaments that are going on throughout all of the festivities here. Now, let's talk about Falcons, of course, here. Seven, Neptura, Maxman joining me. Seven, an important win for Falcons to try and push themselves into those higher prize pool brackets.
Once again, a team that just really haven't done much the past 3 days. They ended up getting a win. I felt like this one was kind of gifted as well. They were having some 2-2 splits, but overall, it's Team Falcons pretty much getting themselves into more money in Neptura.
Yeah, and it's really well played from them as well. They have that, well, 2-2 split, I think it was, in the middle of that ravine where the road goes down. That position is really, really good, particularly in that zone. However, you need to use splits if you want to use it effectively, if you don't want to get taken out. So they actually played that really, really well with those splits, and then transferred over into a more of a 1-1-1-1 spread across the end of zone to actually take a lot more control. So for them, it was actually very, very well played, and they got the win for a reason.
Yeah. We just went on the second page. We have to talk about Weibo Gaming, right? They just entered the Smash with that game. They just got in order, clutching it up at the end. I was thinking, actually, if they maybe got a few more points earlier, maybe order can clutch it. Unfortunately, they don't get the entirety of that match. They do lose at the end to Falcons, but that fight versus Power, I was not sure how that was going to go down because that was a risky push, but luckily enough, they get the full reset, allowing them to then take a fight against 4 Thrives, against the side of even Alvov or Trigo.
Yeah.
It was a risky one, but now they're in the Smash Zone, meaning they could snatch it away in this very last upcoming game.
Right, that's an important thing to actually talk about here, right? Because we are down to the last game now. That technically, if one of these 3 teams could smash and be able to get themselves the victory here. However, if that doesn't happen, Seven, the one with the most points will be the champion here at PMWC.
Yeah, with the way the Yangon has been playing throughout the whole day, we got to wait and see what the overall is going to be looking like, because this team has been consistent. They just haven't been able to get the win. Remember what happened yesterday, though? This was a team that did end up getting a win with 12 eliminations, so it could happen here. And they went back to playing how they usually play. They went back to playing edge and also hunting down teams. That is the YG I want to see going into this last game.
I mean, we're getting so hype here, Seven Neptura, during that game. It's like, actually, they're going back to playing the edge instead of the center. This is what rewarded you with so many wins in these finals at PMWC. They're going back to the basics that were so successful in the past. Yangon Galacticos here on Miramar, they had a really good rotate. Unfortunately, I think you mentioned it, Kalaris, a little bit earlier. Lack of scouting. Maybe they could have a little bit of a better entry point on the eastern side of the circle, maybe go entirely up north, but here didn't quite work out, and Nongshim Red Force were able to actually put an end to the reign of dominance here of Yangon Galacticos.
I actually also like their push onto Nongshim for a different reason, Max, is because Nongshim and Thundertalk were fighting it out, and actually Nongshim is the more dangerous team to win out of that situation. If Thundertalk had won over Nongshim, historically speaking, over the last 2 days, 3 days nearly now, we haven't seen anything else from them. So for the rest of the lobby, they're not really looking like a very dangerous team to go up against. Nongshim, on the other hand, particularly today, have been doing really, really well. So if a team like Yangon want a chance at actually winning the game, they had to take out Nongshim. So for them, going up to that north side was a great play.
Well, as you can see, the rest of the teams here are getting ready for our final game, trying to figure out exactly how they're going to approach things. Let's take a look at the overalls. Let's get a lay of the land here. Oh my days. Weibo moves into second place as well as being able to move into the Smash Zone. Alpha Gaming is hot on their heels, but that takeover is huge. And now Yangon, 150 points. It would be poetic, Max, if we saw them get a win and win on points overall, but we will see how this goes.
The dream is still alive for Yangon Galacticos, but actually I want to take our attention to Weibo Gaming and Alpha Gaming. They don't need to smash to win this. All you need is an early elimination onto Yangon Galacticos. Weibo would need 11 points, 12 points for Alpha Gaming to at least tie, maybe try and overtake, because you can't win the tiebreaker because they have 4 chicken dinners. So you would need technically 12 and 13 points respectively So we could have a new champion here without the Smash rules actually being in full effect.
That's right. I mean, and also take a look at all those teams towards the bottom. They are going to be fighting for that money as well, for that prize pool. Everything is so close by, but going back to the top, this is all these teams throughout the finals have been able to achieve at least a minimum top 3. Some even a win with Yangon Galacticos. It's going to come down to that final match, and it's going to come down to seeing if Weibo Gaming and Alpha Gaming can get a win.
I don't think Alpha Gaming like this turn of events at all. I mean, we've seen it too many times, right, across global events. It just keeps happening. They keep slipping on that final day. At least it's only by 1 point. So with the final game, maybe they can actually go, actually, we've well had enough of this. It's time to get back into second place, maybe even that first rather. And maybe that's just the fire they need underneath them to get them going.
Weibo Gaming, I'm looking back at the Hong Kong Invitational. This team got saved because Influence Rage got eliminated in last second. Here, no one is coming to save you. If you are going to climb up to that first place, Weibo, it's all reliant on your efforts to take this win.
And I'm going to be looking at APG going into this last match. They need to take a fight and focus on that fight, not just be taking multiple fights, because earlier they were fighting Fireflux. On top of that, they were fighting Regnum and Karia, and they just weren't focusing. You got to focus on the fight, and you got to make sure you do the right rotation as well.
Well, let's take a look at the top teams on Miramar once again. Our 3 teams that are able to smash or move into the point lead are right there. And whilst we're taking a look at that, before we go into our last game, let's do some predictions for the champion. We're going to start with Maxman.
Oh, can I go last?
Oh.
No,
Does
you
he
can't.
dare?
I can't pick APG. I've done it too many. I'm going Weibo. I'm going Weibo on this one. China, let's go.
APG, yeah. It's got to be.
I started with them. I'm going to finish with them for the final day. APG.
All right, and I never give predictions, but we've got to give some Yangon love as well here. Let's get this a-rolling, ladies and gentlemen. We have one final game. You can see all of these players getting ready to go. He's going to elbow drop them into oblivion here for this one. Those are the predictions coming out from the desk as all these teams are getting ready to go. I'm not sure that they're ready to jump straight into this game just yet, Seven. So we do have a few moments before we get to this, but it's always nice to get some predictions out of there just before what is a bit of an insane situation here, Nepturo.
Can I just how bad would it be if I changed my prediction to Falcons?
Stop you.
Championship.
Nope, stop you. Stop.
I had to throw it out one last time. They did win the last match, but I know it's not going to happen.
Well,
What?
cool if you want.
I mean, one that you ended up picking, Max, Weibo Gaming, something that I did enjoy out of that last match from them. Remember, throughout the whole day, this team was playing slow. We were saying at one time it was a little bit too slow. With the fight that they took against Power, that aggression was there, and I feel like that's something that they need to have here. They need to have that switch coming into this last game.
That's been something that has been just switched up to 11 for today. Their aggression, they're looking to take fights. They knew especially how many points they needed to get into the Smash Zone. They know now you don't take unnecessary fights. You need to get into the late game, get into the top 8, your top 5, your top 3, get into the late game scenario and get the actual win. If they can also just get high elimination game, maybe it could work out, but all the teams can make it work in the end of this match.
I started the day asking if it was going to be the destiny, if it was going to be the dream, or will it be destruction? It turns out Weeaboo is about to potentially cause destruction here as we have the volcanic conclusion of PMWC underway for 2025.
Seismic shifts on the table to close down our penultimate match. Weibo break into that Smash Zone. They will join Yangon Galacticos and Alpha Gaming with a chance here in the final match of the PMWC. It's all to play for.
Here it is, the last chance, the last dance, our guaranteed final map. 3 teams have fought tooth and nail. They have given it their all to end up in this very spot, to become champions, to cement their names in PUBG Mobile history. The question is, who has it in them to close it out? All that work to not be for nothing, all that work to gain something you can never lose, to be a champion. Yangon Galacticos, Weibo, Alpha Gaming, all 3 of those rosters are going for gold. and it's only going to be one of them as champions. We also had a chance to ask our talent managers who they were predicting to take this game, and it was Alpha Gaming. So Alpha Gaming pretty much across the board, not only from a talent perspective, but also from our talent managers. Now the question is, Arena, who's winning it? Is it Weibo Gaming? I think so, maybe. Alpha Gaming have a chance. Yangon Galacticos, everybody's got their fan base. Everybody's got the opportunity to cheer and get loud. They need your energy. Get loud in the arena, because it's time to get our final game started.
What a way to close down the tournament. A 3-team chance, a shot at that trophy. It's been glittering and glimmering before their very eyes for the last few days, and they now have a chance to raise it. Or will their key drop into the key crusher along with 14 others? It will have to remain to be seen as we take a look at where our drops are coming on through. At the moment, I'm seeing Weibo. They're out over the center part of this playing path, which has a fairly northern situation. Alpha Gaming on the south side.
Okay, so for Yangon Galacticos, they changed it up before. Do they go up north, where they've been so familiar, and it looks as if they will, which again puts that narrative. Hora, Falcons potentially gatekeeping them, and this is scary. You change it up last game, yes, you go towards the south, but this time around for Hora and Falcons, maybe a bit personal. Keep them at bay, shut them down. You have to be expecting them to rotate into you. So for Yangon Galacticos, they've got to get creative, and one thing they love to do again is stay in blue and then drop down south. So most likely going to see them making their way into stage 2, stage 3. For APG, however, they are within zone, but they've got company all around them.
Hey, look at that. 1 point immediately earned. Tiebreaker back on in action. And I think that means that Weibo do win the tiebreaker. I believe they've got one more chicken dinner than Alpha Gaming, if I'm not mistaken, having earned the back-to-back that they've been able to find today. So they are sat on 2 chicken dinners. 139, of course, that will be the tiebreaker, unless Alpha Gaming win. But then it's a non-factor because they win via the smash ruling. Oh, there's so many interlocking rules. I love logistical, bureaucratic nightmares on points tables. It's what I live for.
And just to confirm, it is Weibo with 2 wins, Alpha Gaming with 1. So something to take effect a little bit later on, but all eyes, of course, on these 3 great rosters. You know, you got one starting off relatively hot, of course, being APG getting a first shot, but that also puts a target on their back, right? Shots are fired, teams are getting active, which might be in the back of the mind of the other rosters thinking, I want to third party this because this is our last chance to elevate ourselves up the leaderboard.
Absolutely. There's a lot of money that's mixed in the middle of the tables. Obviously, the 3 teams at the top have taken a lot of points, but the points gap between teams like Regnum Karya all the way down to Team Secret, right? So 4th to 12th. That drop-off could be there, right? And that is a pretty sizable chunk. 4th place is $120,000, and then you go down to 12th at 45. With a single game, they can change things around, earn more, drop down. It's a lot of wiggle room here.
Without a doubt. And for Regnum Karya, they have been the boogeyman of, well, APG over the past couple of maps. This time around, they take down Krypton from Alter Egos. A guy that clutches up, a guy that you want to stay alive. Does it impact the standings? Well, potentially. Alter Egos could pass DRX, 4 thrives, maybe even Regnum Karya themselves. So for Regnum Karya, taking down 1 from Alter Egos, and in my opinion, the tip of the spear, albeit outside of Rosemary, that puts Regnum Karya in an even safer spot.
Absolutely. They're going to feel a little bit safer as time goes on. Behind them, of course, the Falcons coming off of a chicken dinner. You know what? I was kind of surprised that Neptura decided to predict them for the tournament win. Not because they're so far down the tables, but because they're not Team Spirit. And of course, Neptura loves Team Spirit. Favorite team. Unfortunately, they didn't even make it out of CSA.
That's right. Team Spirit, rest in peace. Neptura, keep sending your love to them. Maybe they'll come back next year.
Absolutely.
I do want to point out Weibo, however, have pretty centralized in the zone. DRX do start to move in relatively close to them. That's going to be a fun one to potentially watch. But for Weibo, they're going to try and stay as quiet as possible, but they can also gatekeep a couple of rosters. And Auction Red Force DRX, Ida, maybe Thunder Talk, who's a little bit further away. For Yangon Galacticus, again, staying up towards Trailer Park, they're going to stay there for a long time. They're going to play it slow. They're not going to get too antsy because, again, you've got Falcons and Aura, which Fourth Rise, are they maybe thinking about challenging Falcons? You do have T24 is getting relatively close.
Could potentially be just scouting out, trying to navigate those rotations out east. In the meantime, though, in the center of this circle, just around Hacienda del Patron, around San Martin, Weibo Game. Currently looking for position. We know what's on the line for this team. The tiebreaker order goes Yangon Galacticos, followed by Weibo, followed by Alpha Gaming. That will not change because with the chicken dinners sitting as they are, that's the order of the tiebreakers. And of course, if any one of them increases their chicken dinner score, they win the tournament by the smash rule. That's right. So that tiebreaker order will be in effect throughout the course of this one, and it could very much come down to those chicken dinner differences.
Right. So T24 still close, but not close enough to really have an effect on this Falcons rotation. And for Team Falcons, you know, we've been talking about them dropping the ball and struggling, and yes, they will not be champions today, but this final game, if it's good enough, could elevate them up in the top 5. So that still is a storyline. They're not too far away. It's not impossible for Team Falcons to get a top 5 finish, which, by the way, again, in regards to the club championship race, Falcons need a top 8 finish. They're currently in 9th place. So this is a big moment for Falcons in the overall scale of things for the club championship race to have a good performance.
Adding to that tally is great. They can keep contributing to their team to be able to try and pick that one up. You hope that they can do it. I'm sure there's plenty of fans at the arena who want the Falcons to do it as well, to help out on that club championship tally.
Love seeing the fans. Hey, peace to you. Great to see you. Getting excited, getting happy. Some of them getting loud. Yes, let's get it going. The final game. Yangon Galacticus start to move in. This is very typical of their style, but again, you've got Falcons who might keep them at bay, and if they choose to drop south, which is their typical game plan, Fourth Rive's right in front of them.
They're moving on in on the west side towards San Martin for the Falcons. We're still waiting on Alpha Gaming and Yangon Galacticos to make their appearances. Of course, Yangon Galacticos, they're in the blue zone. Currently, actually, fairly close to it, all things considered, for them, certainly. They're quite close to this zone. Yangon Galacticos playing out on the south side of El Pozo, and will navigate the bubbly terrain there. He bobbles his way forwards. It's difficult. I hate driving over this terrain. It's so confusing. You never know if you're going to flip your vehicle or not.
From now on, when I'm driving down a bumpy road, I'm just going to bubble over the piles. That's right. That's my strategy. Yep. John, I like it. New terminology. They decide to go up north, that's great for them. And north really has no competition if they decide to commit towards water treatment, which could be a great spot depending on how quickly they get over there, but there's a lot of terrain and a lot of distance between them and that. APG also staying south. They're going to be in blue currently, and they have a free route towards the north. Both rosters, I believe, currently waiting for this next stage to pop, and it does encompass water treatment, which again opens that up maybe for Hora, who's going to be the closest. They can overtake that. YG might be able to move up, but for APG, I mean, so tightly contested. Yes, a free route in, but they've got to go in between Fourth Rives, E-Arena, and then ultimately, of course, Noxium Red Force, Fireflux, so many rosters, and the same thing can be said for Yangon Galacticus. This is great for Weibo. Weibo's still dead center. They're established. They don't have to move, but is Order by himself?
Maybe. I mean, they are fairly split right now. The question is, how long can Weibo hold this split in the center of this circle? Falcons are going to push in on the north. Regnum Kaya from the other side as well. They're looking to try and move on in. Oda on that northern edge could get in the middle of it, get stuck in there. Thunder Talk, everybody trying to get closer towards the east side of San Martin, towards Hacienda del Patron.
Alter Egos also started to move in from the northern side. Curious where Yangon Galacticus choose to go. For APG, this is going to be a tough rotate for them. I'm genuinely getting worried at this moment because going up north There's so many teams playing Edge, Four Thrives, Ida that they'll have to run through. Any of those fights taking place, again, this is the final game, and so many teams are very close to catching up in the top 5 or even bettering their spot. You move up one spot in the standings, that's potential thousands and thousands of dollars in difference when it comes to the prize money. A very real reason to win a third party and fire some shots safely from a distance. And for APG, I don't know. They've got to go up north, but it's still a long rotate for them. For me, I'm putting them on alert.
There's a lot of danger in this final match here of the PMWC. The Grand Finals continue to deliver on the excitement towards this final match as Yangon Galacticos navigate their way up the west side, over the top of San Martin, up and into the hills. It looks like Weibo will get to try and hold on the Manor House as well, play in the center of Hacienda.
Still, that split worries me, especially if the team decides to go in between them. That's going to get quite awkward, but for Weibo, still all 4 up. Not ringing the alarm bells just yet for them. Yangon Galacticos starting to move in. They're going to be just opposite of Falcons again, who are all split.
Alpha on the west side. Look at this rotate. Right. They're swinging out and could potentially backfill on towards Yangon Galacticos here around the west side of San Martin. This fight feels inevitable. We could remove one of our 3 teams here and now.
Yeah, well, I mean, it makes sense, right? You go back, what, several maps now, and it's been Yangon Galacticos fighting against APG. The 2 teams cannot stay away from each other. Like magnets, they're drawn, but we do see maybe a bit of an audible as they start to rotate right towards Noxum Red Force. But the good news is for them, they avoid 4 Thrives, and they now have clearance to now get in to the next zone. But as they just get here, the next zone is about to shift. The question is, where does it go? But that's not too bad. That's not too bad. But Noxum Red Force is gatekeeping the outer edge, and APG still needs to go forward. If they go north, they go into YG. If they go south, they go into Fourth Rise. If they go east, it's straight into Noxum Red Force. And Smile is scouting, but I hope he doesn't get too carried away. He's jumped out.
Oh, Doc has been spotted, I believe, out on this western side. Gonna have to be careful, and Smile gets Doc down. He's going to find that knock, and it is just time and time again that he has dropped the ball for APG. And finally, it may be the death blow dealt towards Alpha Gaming.
Said I was ringing the alarm bells, and now they are sounding as loud as they possibly can. Losing Doc hurts. But for Alpha Gaming, a chance still remains with 3 players up, but you just gave an elimination to the team you're fighting against. For Hora, they start to push in for Team Secret, trying to hold on tight. They cannot, and they will be eliminated in the final game of the tournament.
Hora able to stay alive with 2 players down. The reses will come through. This circle is giving Weibo a massive in on this match. The 2-2 split that they have right now should be fairly trivial to hold as it stands in this circle. The teams that surround them, that are creating this buffer zone, not super likely to want to crash right now. So they will definitely be solid to hold this 2-2 split into the next zone. Let's take a look at this replay. Doc hops out, and I mean,
yeah, hit and run. Hit and run,
it's disappointing.
backs away, gets away, and it is so disappointing. I know Seven is fuming right now because he's been setting this narrative, the docketing Doc going up by himself. I know doing the research coming into the global stage, that was one of the things he made sure that I remember. Doc loves to go up by himself, but one of the things they improved on is Doc started joining his roster once again, and that made them strong. But this time around, old habits refuse to die, and maybe the chances now for Alpha Gaming to win this championship have in fact gone to the grave. But again, with 3 members up, there still is a chance for them to take this, but they're going to have to work even harder.
Smile's just gone down from Yangon Galacticos. There's only 3 players now for Yangon Galacticos. They tried to move through San Martin, but the Falcons extract a toll on the road from them. And now from the north side, potentially could move down towards Hacienda, a decent spot that Weibo have to abandon to hold this 2-2 split. So potential space there. Alpha Gaming with potentially their last rotate on this tournament.
Oh, no.
As Reefus gets spotted.
Oh,
Up now in the firing line. He's loading up to take these shots. And Weibo across the way, taking down more players from Alpha Gaming. Seoul, the last bastion here for the team from Mongolia.
Seoul, once again last alive. You go back a couple of maps on Erangel, on map number 4, Zeal was the last hope and dream for this APG roster, and once again the pressure falls on his shoulders to try and carry the torch for Alpha Gaming to take this championship, but he's surrounded by everybody. Luckily there's a little bit of space, but his chances of winning this are now slim to none. However, it would be one of the most miraculous comebacks in PUBG Mobile history if Zial can somehow take this victory. For Alpha Gaming fans, I know you want to keep the hope alive, so I'll at least say that narrative for you.
Okay, I think it is very much an outside chance here. I like this regroup from Weibo. Remember, I was talking about how you can hold that 2-2 split because the teams around you aren't likely to move. With this circle shifting down, they regroup from that east side because they know teams like DRX on their position, Thundertalk, Alter Ego, Aura on that north side, likely to want to try and take that compound on the corner from them. So they regroup, recoalesce, and play on As4, the only team in the top 3 with a chance of smashing that has 4 players alive. But Yangon Galacticos, 3 players on their side, they also still have a chance.
Yes, that's right. SaintCloud will take the advanced position on the compound. That will give free reign to Romeo and Renat to potentially move up. The only team around them is Hora. Depending on how this zone ends up rotating, maybe we do see a clash between Yangon Galacticos as well as the Weibo roster, but you still got to appreciate where Weibo is at. 4 members still alive. They now are joined together. There is no more of a split, and they're staying tried and true to what has worked for them, taking center zone. 4 Thrives versus Power. What's at stake with this fight? Well, 4 Thrives are currently 5 points away from catching up to Regnum Karya, which would put them in a better spot for more money, knocking them down. But it's not a guarantee. 4 Thrives are currently at 0 eliminations. They need to silence Power and take down the remaining 3 members. That would put them within striking distance of apexing Regnum Karya. But if they don't and they fall short, Regnum Karya will stay in 4th place, but they're only going to be just there because the solo is last alive. Hora starts to rotate over. Regnum Karya has Loxy just up ahead, but Hora, all eyes on them as they're taking advantage.
On the east flank here against Loxy, but Yangon Galacticos are moving in on the north side towards potentially Weibo Gaming's compound. Another fight that could dictate the pace of this tournament. On the north edge, they could wipe each other out. Oh, Loxy does go down. Regnum Karya taken down with 112 points on the tables. 4 Thrives could definitely leapfrog that.
That's it. 4 Thrives can do this. Fireflux have fought hard throughout the entirety of this tournament, but I believe everything is starting to come to an end as 2 players are last alive. DRX starts to push up. Solus taken down as well, I believe, through the smoke. No, excuse me, he gets full back up. I thought the shots connected well. He'll continue to fight hard, but Kix wants to take him down. For Fireflux, a chance maybe to pass Team Secret, get up into top 12 as here, and Solus does hit a nice shot needed, but he drops down as a nade takes him out. Scarface, the last hope and dream to move Team Secret up.
A flush onto Solus there, and now Scarface looking to try and hold it for Fireflux on that south side. It's unlikely that he gets too much further into this one, and the tournament is starting to close down for teams left and right. We've dropped 3 now. Their final performance is done and dusted. Next circle pops, and it keeps Weibo in, but it forces Yangon Galacticos out.
Yes, it does. Yangon Galacticos now have to push in, potentially pass Weibo. The question is, will they choose to challenge? They've been highly aggressive during the finals. Scarface, though, all eyes on him as he continues to stay up for a little bit longer, but I don't know if Fireflux did what they needed to do to pass up Team Secret. Matt taking damage. Hora with the 3rd party. Yangon Galacticos might be getting taken down relatively soon. They've got to play this carefully.
Ooh, 4 Thrives on the inside, looking to try and overtake as DRX are going neck and neck with them, bouncing back and forth on those tables, both trying to overtake Regnum Karya here.
Let's talk about scenarios. Alpha Gaming has a solo live with Zeal. Still within zone, he's staying quiet. Yangon Galacticos, obviously a chance to win this game with 3 members, but they got a tall task ahead of them with Weibo just up ahead. Hora off to their off angle. Falcons obviously still around. Now, for Weibo, let's say Yangon Galacticos does get taken down. Weibo could win in 2 ways. A winner-winner chicken dinner, or just getting enough points to surpass the point threshold, which is currently at the moment around 150, 152 for Yangon Galacticos. So for Weibo Gaming, they need 14 points. That's what's going to be needed to surpass Yangon Galacticos as it currently stands. Let's not forget YG is still alive.
The last time a PEL team were able to win a global title was back in 2021. And that was with Order over on Nova. If they can take it back here, what a story for the player. A third global title, a resurgence for the PEL onto the world stage. Plenty of fans waiting for that to happen. Murnat under pressure. The Sleepy takes a toll over him. He's trapped behind a burned out tree, but he has a sliver of HP left, and they don't quite have the angles to squeak the bullets around the edge there. The heal comes through, and Yangon Galacticos stay as 3.
Still a tough spot though. Falcons start to move closer and closer to Noxium Red Force. Maybe a fight breaking out between the two rosters there. Remember, for Falcons, top 8 for the club championship race is important. They're 5 points away, and the team in front of them is the one they are trying to surpass. They beat them, they have a very real chance to elevating themselves up into the top 8. That's going to be a close one we have to watch. Another zone shift is about to occur in just about 50 or so seconds. DRX getting taken down. 4 Thrives, another roster that is looking to elevate themselves up to top 4. The chances here, they're hitting the shots needed, but they do have a down player. 4 Thrives is putting up a wonderful fight, but DRX is fighting back as well. IQ and Co need to buck up and obviously play this well. With only a solo left, 4 Thrives' job becomes even harder. IQ has such a tall task, and he's down, and 4 Thrives did not do enough to break in to the top 5.
And with that, DRX need 1 more point. The placements haven't kicked in, but they will jump up to be drawn with Regnum Kaya. I'm not too sure who will win that tiebreaker, but if they get 2 more points, they will be free and clear. However, let's reframe over on this northern side of the circle. Pops very, very shortly here. Of course, 4 players alive for Weibo, 3 for Yangon Galacticos. Aura have an off angle onto the Yangon Galacticos position, and everybody has to move. It is a mad dash to the south, and Ida sits slap bang in the middle.
That's right. Ida have such a great position here. Such a great opportunity with 3 players last alive. Maybe even break into top 8 themselves. A big game is needed, but the possibility is there. Remember, winner, winner, chicken dinner is 10 points. That would put them at 94. They already have 2 eliminations to their name, so a very real chance Ida can break into top 8 over everybody else. Narvalo has fallen. Narvalo has fallen. Ralph will fight once again. Narvalo fully down and out now. Falcons down to 3. Such a pivotal fight between Falcons and Noxium Red Force, and potentially the final fight for both rosters.
Yangon Galacticos may be trying to third party this as well, as the Falcons go down to 3, but Noxium Red Force seem to be bleeding as well. E-Arena across the way could try and have an impact here, with 2 players looking to heal on up. It's up to Doc to hold the corner, but Koa wins the day. Another frag around the edge, and it's going to be Noxium Red Force continuing their bleed out. Koa drops down and away from danger. Yangon Galacticos wasting time here. Not going to be allowed to approach, as TZ, the last
got the high
on
ground.
the high ground to find Ralph, will get 1. Redox now with a chance to hold it down for the Falcons, as Koa's fallen as well. Last player for the Falcons alive, and they cannot make it. Top 8 denied. Noxium Red Force with 2 stand too fast in their way.
Noxium Red Force, not the healthiest team, but still top 8. We look over now, and Hoarder starting to crash in. Weibo are getting broken apart. Sook has moved deeper in. Yangon Galacticos are also taking damage, but they can still third party Noxium Red Force. Question is for Sook, all by himself. What's going to happen here?
The placement points are kicking in now as well, so for DRX, they're looking good to overtake Regnum Kaya. Sook moves fast and out into the open. A pivotal position here for Weibo Gaming right now. Yangon Galacticos could potentially take the hillsides away from Falcons, who are gone already. Noxium Red Force from E-Arena as well. That western side could get dangerous, but Zyol is still playing, by the way, as solo, and he's in the circle.
St. Cloud's down. He can't get picked back up. Burnett has to move forward. Order is starting to go in onto Yangon Galacticos. They're collapsing in. Weibo wants to silence the Yangon Galacticos roster right here and now, but can they get their teammate back into the fight? They need to be as healthy as possible to try and catch up in the points category. Order taking a lot of damage, sleeping from a distance, might be able to mow him down.
He goes forwards, but he meets a wall of bullets sent out his way, and Weibo are throwing away their position on the northern side. They try and mad dash up towards Yangon, but it is not enough. They were 11 points behind at the start of this match. They are now 13 points behind. And the placements are starting to add up. They need a lot more than they can get with only 2 players alive.
33.
This may be the close down of the tournament.
I think so, brother. 33C. I don't know, does he have a chance to get heat? He has crawled for the longest possible time, and 33Z is now in a vehicle, and he is going forward. Now, the narrative for Sook, I mean, Horda's got him pinned up. He's taken over this shack, and from one thing that I know, brother, from watching all these tournaments, once you have to go into the shack, it then becomes a death shack. I'm worried for Weibo Gaming.
Yangon Galacticos surviving is a nightmare for Sook right now. Oh, there's 4 players from Horda. You bet they've got an aid, and they are going to post it right through the window here. For PEL, their hopes may be dashed. That 3-peat for Order slipping through their fingers. APG finally go down, which means that Weibo are locked in at second at a minimum.
This is it. Yangon Galacticos can lock in the tournament right here and now. This is their opportunity. The only thing that stands before them is Sook the solo from Weibo Gaming, the championship in their fingertips. Can Sook clutch it up? If he does so, he would be stealing the championship away. Horda continues to push up. Horda wants Sook dead to rights, but the nades can't connect, and Sook stays alive.
It's only a matter of time. He's taking coin flip after coin flip, and the Molotov is burning at his feet. It's not connecting though. The spread's not there, but they've got nades pouring on in. No, they're not connecting. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Sook is weathering the storm that is battering down this shack.
Right, Sook trying his best to stay alive, but all it takes is one good connection. Another nade goes in. Is this going to be good?
Oh.
Is it going to be good? Yes, it is. And Weibo will fall. APG already out, and Yangon Galacticos will take PMWC 2025 in sensational fashion.
The madman from Myanmar able to take the top spot here in Riyadh. PMWC sent over to East Asia once again. And they will be happy to receive it. They go down. But they have done the work. It is over. It's done and dusted. We just need to lock it in. They're already celebrating. They know what they've done, and they need to be proud of themselves.
History has been made. Yangon Galacticos, the champions. They worked hard to get here. They hug it out, and rightly so. What a relief it is to be champions, to cement your name in PUBG Mobile history. That's exactly what they did. And for the remainder of the points, we still have something up for grabs. For DRX, maybe they can pass Ragnar Karia and break in to top 4, but just like that, they get eliminated, but it comes down, of course, to the placement points. We're now down to our top 2.
They should have been able to leapfrog Ragnar Karia there, jump up to 4th place, but that is a beautiful result for Yangon Galacticos. They do not need a chicken dinner. They'll take it home on the points. Weibo with a misstep, a wide flank out towards Yangon Galacticos, and that allows the Yangon Galacticos boys to hold their nerve on the hillside. They play up on the ridgeline. They keep their heads down, and they allow the mistakes to unfold around them. And that seems to be the story of the Grand Finals. Let everyone else make the mistakes.
That's right.
Play it sensible. Play it smart.
With their early point lead, they were able to just play good old-fashioned PUBG Mobile. They didn't have to do anything fancy. They didn't have to go out of their way to do anything extraordinary. They left that up to the other rosters, and like you said, that led to plenty of mistakes. Yangon Galacticos dominating the tournament without question. They refused to relinquish first place. Once they grabbed it, nobody was able to overtake it. The dominating performance in PMWC 2025. The final 2 teams fight. The only thing that's up for grabs is a potential elevation to the top 10. Ida moves up. Horda starts to fire the shots. I love the off angle from Jiggle, who's going to be just up to the north. Darkin might be able to mow him down. We already know our champion, but we still need to crown a winner-winner chicken dinner.
One more to be earned. That meal maybe a little bit ashen, but it'll be nice nonetheless. We've also got things like MVP to consider coming on afterwards as well. Some nice prizes for plenty of players to try and chow down on to boot. Azora look to try and close the jaws here. Ida had the compound for the longest time. They were this bastion in the middle of this circle, and now Ora may be able to claim the final map here. And you can see the elation is sinking in for the boys on Yangon Galacticos. They are smiling ear to ear, and they have earned it.
Insane. And I want to say, Yangon Galacticos, we took note of them, right? We respected them coming into this tournament. But I don't think we put them as the favorite to take over the win, to actually be in first place, yet they took it by storm. They saw the opportunity, and they did not waste it. Darkin starts to move up. Blue most likely takes him out. If not, he's going to be very low health. Ora, Ida fighting it out. Jiggle from a distance. Another one will fall. There's Darkin finally out of the way, and Ora looks to be going towards a victory very, very soon. Rita tries to clutch up. Can't do it. Ora will take our final game of the tournament. But of course, the narrative has to go to Yangon Galacticos, the winners of PMWC 2025. Well done, boys.
Riyadh bows their heads in awe of Yangon Galacticos, for Smile, for Mernat, for Romeo, for Say Cloud. This is their moment. They have done it. That trophy sits in the middle of the stage. It's only a moment before they'll be able to ascend and lift it in the face of everybody who would take it away from them. Those keys crushed and only and out into the open. A pivotal position here for Weibo Gaming right now. Yangon bows their heads in awe of Yangon Galacticos, for Smile, for Mernat, for Romeo, for Say Cloud. This is their moment. They have done it. That trophy sits in the middle of the stage. It's only a moment before they'll be able to ascend and lift it in the face of everybody who would take it away from them. Those keys crushed, and only one will be locked into that trophy.
16 keys started for this championship in the Grand Finals. 15 are going to be crushed. Yangon Galacticos, the only one to maintain their position, to maintain and save their key from destruction. An amazing performance. Again, a team that works so hard throughout every single stage. Yangon Galacticos earning their spots, refusing to relinquish first place all the way to the very end.
As they take towards the Crusher, you can see they will be dropping those keys. They will be picking up their own to rise above the rest, to be the one. It is Yangon Galacticos.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have found our champions. Sorry, I'm stepping on your flag. The team, they persevered, they climbed the mountain, they survived the gauntlet that was Smash Sunday. Incredible. Congratulations, gentlemen. Emotions are, of course, running high. We could all see from your faces, you knew midway through that game that you managed to secure the win. But for now, let's start things slow. Let's start things easy, okay? First and foremost, I would like to invite our key master, Dominic. He's going to come out and present you with your Esports World Cup key. There you have it. Look at that. And so you know what you have to do now, don't you, gentlemen? We have to send your opponents down from the Grand Finals, okay? We are going to crush these keys. Say, Cloud, would you like to start us off? Why don't you turn the key and start those engines? Right, the engines are started. You'll feel it underneath the feet. Hold up. Okay. Hold up. Okay, Marnet, you can. Marnet, you can flick that switch. Push forward. There we go. Reveal that iris. We've opened it up. Look at those teeth. They are menacing. Okay. Master Smile, would you like to wave? Well, hold on. I'm going to give you a count. In 3, in 2, 1. Send them down. All those keys destroyed in the Crusher. Your enemies have been defeated. 15 teams' keys have been sent down into the depths. And now that your key is the only one that is left intact, I would like you to take your PMWC trophy key and place that into the center of the trophy and go and claim your prize. Walk that golden road, cement your legacy. Yangon Galacticos as our champions of PMWC. Congratulations. And present you with and go and claim your prize. Walk that golden road, cement your legacy. Yangon Galacticos as our champions of PMWC. Congratulations. He can do some translating for us, but wow, what a day. There's a lot of emotions that you guys are feeling right now. Please try to put into words how you're feeling at this moment, Romeo.
အခုဘယ်လိုခံစားရလဲကျွန်တော်အရန်စိတ်လှုပ်ရှားတာပေါ့နော်ဘာလို့လဲဆိုတော့ကျွန်တော်တို့အရန်စိတ်ပူရတယ်ရှေ့ပွဲဆိုနည်းနည်းအမားလေးဖြစ်သွားတယ်ဒါပေမဲ့ကျွန်တော်နောက်ဆုံးပွဲမှာကျွန်တော်လုံနိုင်တယ်ဆိုတာအကုန်လုံးကိုယုံကြည်တယ်ဘာလို့ဆိုတော့ကျွန်တော်တို့ကတာနေတယ်အဲ့တော့ကျွန်တော်တို့အမားမခံဘူးတစ်ဖက်သင်းမှာပဲကျွန်တော်တို့စောင့်တယ်အဲ့ဒါနဲ့ပဲကျွန်တော်တို့နောက်ဆုံးထိကျွန်တော်တို့စောင့်နိုင်ပြီးတော့ကျွန်တော်ချန်ပီယံကြီးကိုယူခဲ့တာပါ
Yes, what Romeo is saying is, of course we are nervous. We are top of the league, you know. We just like did some mistakes the previous rounds, but you know, like we just wait, like we just play our own game and then wait their mistakes, and then we know that we can do it. We have a confidence to make it happen. Yeah.
Well, you definitely proved it up here. Say, Cloud, I'm going to come to you now because I want to ask you. We've heard some information that the teams that you would like to place in the base of your trophy, the crushed keys, are Alpha Gaming, Alter Ego, Erez, and Weibo Gaming. Can you tell us why you decided to choose those teams?
မင်းဘာလို့အဲ့လိုအတင်းနေဘယ်လိုရွေးခဲ့လဲပေါ့ဟိုမင်းတို့ငါတို့ခက်ခဲတဲ့အတွက်လား
Eva Gaming ကတော့ကျွန်တော်တို့ဘာလို့ဆိုတော့ဒီ day 1 day 2ထိနောက်ဆုံးထိကျွန်တော်တို့လိုက်ပြီးတော့ pressure ပေးတဲ့အတင်းပေါ့နော် Alter Ego ကတော့ဒါစီမှာဘယ်လိုပြောမလဲ PNS ကတော့နှစ်တင်စတိုက်ရထားတဲ့အတင်းဆိုတော့ respect
So what he say Oh sorry keep going
Weibo ကတော့တည့်ရတိုင်းပါပဲအခုနောက်ဆုံးချိန်ထိသူတို့ကဘာလဲဆိုတာရပါတယ်အတွက် So yeah
So actually, of course, like APG is a very good team, and then they gave us good pressure previous game before. Of course, Alter Ego, we respect Alter Ego because they are top level team. Of course, also Weibo Gaming. Everyone know Weibo Gaming. They are top of the league all the time. So we respect everything. Thank you.
That's good, showing your respect. Thank you so much. I'm going to come around here, Master Smile. We had a few opportunities to speak throughout the week, and you had some great performances, of course. You know, the crowd's been brilliant, haven't they? And you've got so many fans, you know, supporting you guys online, from home, family as well. Is there anything that you would like to say to them?
Thank you so much, everyone.
That's so kind of you. Thank you so much. Would you like to say anything as well, Marnet? I feel like I'm leaving you out. What would you like to say?
အခုလို champion ရသွားတဲ့အတွက်ကျွန်တော်ရန်လဲပျော်တယ်ရန်လဲစိတ်လို့ရတယ်ကျွန်တော်ဒီညီကိုရင်းနဲ့ champion ရတဲ့အတွက်ရန်ပြီးဂုဏ်ယူတယ်ပြီးတော့ကျွန်တော်တို့အားပေးနေတဲ့ fan တွေကိုလည်းအကျန်းကျေးဇူးတင်တယ်နောက်ပြီးတော့မောင်ပြီးကြရောနောက်လည်းဆက်ပြီးအားပေးကြပါအောင်လို့အားလုံးပြောချင်ပါတယ်ကျွန်တော်မြန်မာနိုင်ငံကိုစောင့်နိုင်တဲ့အတွက်ရန်ကိုဂုဏ်ယူပါတယ်
So what he's saying is like, of course, yes, he nervous, but he very happy at the same time. And then because he make it happen with these players, he's so proud of that. Of course, proud of our country, of course. So he want to say something to the fans who watching online. That keep cheering for us. Thank you for the cheerings. For the next game, we were waiting. We're coming for the next game too. Next time again.
I love that. That's good. Thinking into the future already. Well, congratulations. Stay right here. I will be right back because what would a tournament be without some standout performances that we have had? Be careful. Walk your way over here because we have our Sony MVP of the PMWC here standing next to me. It is Doc from Alpha Gaming, everybody. Congratulations, Doc. You are absolutely phenomenal. Okay, I'm going to head back over here because for one final time, Gidea Esports Arena, make some noise for your 2025 PMWC champions at the Esports World Cup. It is Yangon Galacticos!
A dream come true, written in gold. Yangon Galacticos becomes the champions of PMWC 2025. What a moment for those four boys here, being able to conquer adversity, launch themselves into the stratosphere as Yangon Galacticos is your champions. Joining me here to talk about everything that has gone down, Seven, Neptura, Maxman. Seven, this is their moment, a moment that they will remember for a lifetime.
A moment that nobody expected them to be here. This is a team that qualified through PUBG Mobile Challenger South Asia Cup. For them to be able to go that route and not really have that much global experience. Only 3 of their players had PMGC experience in PMWI, and that was back in 2023. What an amazing performance, Neptura.
Fantastic coming in from them. It's so nice to see some fresh faces in here, faces we've not seen in a while, coming in onto the international stage and absolutely dominating.
Taking down giants here at PMWC, outliving Alpha 7, taking down Weibo Gaming, Alpha Gaming at the very end here, at this very last match. Truly just making a statement that anyone can dominate in PUBG Mobile Esports, and here Myanmar is the one to take it home.
It's a true underdog story, and you don't get them often in esports, which is so exciting for me to watch, for us to witness, for everybody at home to see as this team can rise to the occasion. And as you say, Max, the fact that anybody can do it, if they persevere, if they're able to put it on the ground, get win after win against all of these teams. And here is your confirmation here. Number one, 157 points at the very end, Seven. They take PMWC.
They take it, and they also, the eliminations were there, the placement points were there. This team definitely deserved this championship, but we got to give some credit to Weibo Gaming. Nobody was expecting them to be in second place. Today, on the final day, Max, they decided to show up, and boy, did they with the second place finish.
Weibo Gaming, I am begging you, keep this roster. You have so much potential. If you can re-qualify to PMGC with this team, and you just play the way you did today in your next tournament from the get-go, I really believe this squad could be taking home so many trophies.
Winning Hong Kong, coming into today, us thinking it's only ever going to be a 2-horse race, Neptura, and yet Weibo comes along, gets back-to-back chicken dinners, and then continues to make it happen as well. The meteoric rise we saw from Weibo today gave me chills.
Absolutely, same here. I mean, it's so nice to see. Even when they weren't winning, they were getting those second places. They were getting those top 5 performances with a decent amount of elims as well, right? So I wholeheartedly echo what you were saying, Max. Keep this roster, keep it together, re-qualify, and we're going to see. This is definitely not the last we've seen of them.
How about APG? We got to give this team some credit too. As much as I've been hating on what happened today, amazing performance, especially in the finals. It came down crumbling at the end. And once again, guess who's the one getting that Sony MVP award?
No.
That's right, Doc.
Doc, he just keeps doing it, man. He just keeps being MVP after MVP, and the team just can't win a bloody trophy. It's just not happening. Look at this guy.
Wow.
31 eliminations on his lonesome here in these grand finals over the course of 18 matches. Doc is truly a legend, and the only thing that could really get over the fact of being an MVP would be possibly winning a tournament, but that has not happened today.
But at least now the hopes are open, Max, that we could possibly get one player just winning all the global MVPs for the year. If this team is able to qualify for PMGC, even if they don't win the championship, we know one thing's for sure, Doc will be contending for that MVP award.
I'm actually very excited about one cool thing. East was talked about to possibly be joining the squad, replacing Reefus, who might be a sub, and Baron becoming an actually a content creator. If that happens, this squad might be that might just be the one extra change they need to go and win one of these international events.
Neptura?
No, I agree. I think it's going to be interesting to see how that roster evolves. I really hope that they don't kind of split up or disintegrate completely for me, because I still really like them. We've been very frustrated with them over the last couple of weeks, like very frustrated. But at its core, this is a very good team who knows what they're doing. I just want to see them not crack under the pressure, because I think today at least, as soon as they got close to actually being able to get that win, they went back to old habits. They started splitting up too much. They were way too slow to rotate, too timid to take, decisive plays that would have won them games. They just fell back on old habits.
Well, let's take a look at those individual awards coming in here from PMWC as well at the Esports World Cup 2025. And we have, of course, Doc being the grenade master. Is there anybody else that's going to take that? Doc being the field medic. All right, he can't do everything here, guys. What's going on, Max?
How is he field medic when he's always away from his team?
I don't know. He's never there.
This guy, I genuinely mean this. I think that Doc has been the most enigmatic player we've ever had in PUBG Mobile Esports. Despite us being so critical, he keeps performing and getting these awards.
But of course, Smile will be taking best in-game leader here. Is there really too much surprise? 7. Yangon Galacticos was able to push them through to the absolute forefront.
And an aggressive IGL as well, right? 29 eliminations. That's, what, 4 less than Doc got? So while everybody sings Doc's praises for being such a massive eliminator, you've also got Smile there with 29. That's not bad either.
I gotta harp down on the point that I made for Yangon Galacticos. The way that this team played here on their first global event, especially for Smile, in 2 years, and being able to become one of these amazing players, being able to win an award as well, that is just so impressive, and I'm hoping that they kind of continue on with the performance that they had. They show us adaptability, and when we talk about championship teams, that is one thing we always bring up. You gotta be able to adapt to what the lobby is giving you, and you gotta take advantage to what it gives you.
Well, let's take a look at the honor dominations as well coming in from today, because I can only imagine. Oh yeah, of course. Actually, this is, I think, across the entirety of the Grand Finals here. So Doc with 6 triple elims here. Ketch for Fireflux. We saw him early on in the Grand Finals, Neptura being able to position himself, and he kept on going.
It's one of those things where it's like, well, at least there's some representation somewhere, right? We think everybody expected a lot more from that team. There's a lot of big names on that team, so it's nice that they're able to be on a leaderboard somewhere.
Well, we've still got to talk, though, a little bit more about our champions here for PMWC. As Yangon Galacticos, you can see every single win, every single emotion etched on these players' faces, Max. Just fantastic stuff for them.
And we heard it during the interview. They said, we'll be back. They've got a taste of glory, a taste of success at PMWC. Now they know what to expect next time as this roster. If they make it into PMGC, the sky might just be the limit. The emotion, all of this adventure through PMCL to make it to this point. A true underdog story that actually found its culmination here on this last day.
Underdogs, absolute challengers these players are. They were able to qualify through that at Challengers Cup. It sends a widespread message to anybody that wants to become a professional player for PUBG Mobile Esports. If you ever dreamed about it, now is the chance. We just had a team being able to win it, and I can't wait to see what the rest of the year is going to be like.
Absolutely. I mean, imagine having this win under your belt, going back to your regional tournaments, being able to once again potentially qualify for PMGC now, and going, we can do this. We've already done it at PMWC. We can do it again. What a feeling that must be.
Particularly amazing considering, yes, there were some circles that went their way, but at the same time, where did they really thrive? As we take a look at them now, walking over towards the totem here to completely solidify themselves here at the Esports World Cup. But as I'm saying, Max, not only central plays, also edge plays. This team had the full package here in the grand final.
Genuinely, despite us seeing them for the first time as this roster on the international stage, their edge play was the best, and it was not even close. They would find the path of least resistance in the circle every single time, while not losing a single player almost. They're making a statement that edge play is the way, and for them, it was enough to claim the title.
And it wasn't just the edge play, it's the way that they were able to just gain control of all the ground near them. They were either, if they were in the north, guess what? There was not going to be a team anywhere nearby. Yeah. Every single time we saw this team, they either had a 1-2-1 split, they had a 1-3, sometimes they would end up inverting them too if they found a position that was great for them. This is the adaptability that I'm talking about with this team. I'm hoping it continues on and even progresses going into the next global event.
I think a big marker for how good this team is watching the rest of the lobby adapt to them. They weren't going, oh, you're doing something, but actually we can get rid of that and make you change to us, right? No, it was the other way around. The rest of the lobby, all other 15 teams had to go, you know what? You're right. Have your space. We're going to do something else. They made these global teams change everything to suit them, and that is the mark of a dominant team.
And every player stood out in different ways. Say Cloud, the utility, the scouting was so impactful. Smile, the IGLing on the edge has been absolutely fantastic. Marnet, Romeo, always putting himself in danger for the greater good of the squad. Every player had their impact, and that is why they were crowned your PMWC champions.
And there we have Mike McCabe here, the COO of the Esports World Cup Federation, or the Foundation, and of course Yangon Galacticos now being able to position themselves here in front of the totem. It's a special sight as they will start ascending the totem. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, PMWC has not disappointed. And now we get to see as Yangon Galacticos will not only etch themselves in history, but etch themselves in Esports World Cup history as well here at PMWC. And for one more final time here, the dream has come true. Yangon Galacticos goes absolutely galactic here, live from Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. They are your PMWC champions. Magnificent scenes here from them, of course, to be able to put themselves in the history books. 7, what a performance.
What a performance indeed. Going from group stages, we thought that this squad was just going to be a surprise team.
Amazing stuff. Congratulations, your PMWC champions, Yangon Galacticos.